The night was silent. In Turin, the floodlights of the Allianz Stadium glowed like tired sentinels watching over a restless city. Somewhere behind the concrete walls, a storm was brewing, not of thunder, but of whispers. Whispers that carried one name through every corridor, every phone line, every newsroom. Dušan Vlahović. The Serbian striker who was once the heartbeat of Juventus now finds himself standing on the edge of uncertainty. The cameras still love him, the fans still chant his name, but the boardroom feels different. There are calculations happening in the dark. Money, wages, contracts, performance, and one single question: should Juventus sell Vlahović now before it's too late? In a quiet office somewhere in Turin, a phone buzzes. An agent checks his messages, a club executive exhales, and somewhere across the channel, an English club watches closely. The game behind the game has begun. Vlahović knows it too. Every goal he scores now could raise his price. Every missed chance could lower it. He walks into training with the weight of expectation pressing on his shoulders. He doesn't need to say it out loud. Everyone already knows. Something big is coming. Maybe it's a transfer bombshell. Maybe it's the end of an era. The question is, who will make the first move? Before we dive deeper into this story, if you love football, transfers, and real behind-the-scenes drama, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a single update. Because today, we're not just talking about rumors. We're diving into the psychology, pressure, and chaos of one of football's biggest decisions. Let's rewind for a moment. Dušan Vlahovic's story doesn't begin with Juventus, it begins in Belgrade. A young boy obsessed with the ball, born in 2000, growing up in a football culture that breathes intensity. He joined Partizan Belgrade's youth academy and was breaking records before he turned 17. Coaches saw something different in him, the mix of aggression and calm that defines a top striker. When Fiorentina came calling, he took the leap. Serie A wasn't easy, but Vlahović learned fast. He didn't just score goals, he learned how to command a box, how to read defenders, how to make space when there was none. By the time Juventus noticed him, he was already one of the most feared forwards in Italy. When Juventus paid over $70 million for him in 2022, the world took notice. They believed he would be the man to bring the club back to dominance after the Ronaldo era. For a while, he was unstoppable. He scored with precision, celebrated with confidence, and became a symbol of the club's rebuilding project. But football, like life, rarely follows a straight path. Injuries struck. Tactics shifted. Managers changed. Suddenly, Vlahović wasn't the centerpiece anymore. He was part of a rotation. The pressure mounted and the fans started asking questions. Where was the ruthless finisher from Florence? Was he struggling with form or was it something deeper? As 2025 unfolds, the tension is almost unbearable. Juventus is in a financial squeeze. The club has been balancing its books for years, trying to recover from past spending and wage mistakes. Vlahovic's salary is one of the highest at the club, nearly $12 million per year. For a team fighting to rebuild, that's a heavy burden. And the executives know it. They also know that several clubs are watching. Manchester United, Chelsea, Atletico Madrid, and even Bayern Munich have all been linked. The question isn't if someone will make an offer. It's who will dare to start the domino effect. Manchester United appears to be leading the chase. Their scouts have been following him for months. They need a clinical finisher, someone who can convert the chances that go begging. The Premier League has always been a challenge for Serie A players, but Vlahovic's physical strength, aerial dominance, and one-touch finishing could make him a perfect fit. Chelsea, on the other hand, have been desperate for a true number 9 since their last experiment failed. They see in Vlahović a striker who can lead their front line for years. Atletico Madrid and Bayern are quieter, but make no mistake, they're watching too. Every move Juventus makes is being analyzed from afar. Juventus now faces a brutal choice. If they sell him in January, they might secure a transfer fee close to $70 to $80 million, money that could fund new signings and stabilize the books. If they hold on until summer, they risk losing leverage. Vlahovic's camp knows that, and so do his agents. Negotiations have already begun behind closed doors. Juventus wants him to stay, but not at the same wage. The player, however, believes he deserves it. He's 25, entering his prime, and he knows this might be his last big move. Both sides want to win. And that's where the story turns from negotiation to power struggle. Meanwhile, on the pitch, the tension bleeds into performance. Some matches, Vlahović looks like the old predator, cold, clinical, unstoppable. In others, he drifts, isolated, frustrated. The fans are divided. Some blame tactics. Others blame attitude. But deep down, everyone senses the same thing. His heart might already be halfway out the door. The locker room feels it too. Players notice when a teammate's mind is elsewhere. Coaches try to keep things calm, but footballers can smell uncertainty like blood in the water. As the January window approaches, rumors intensify. A potential swap deal with Manchester United begins to surface. Vlahović for Joshua Zirkzee, or a combination of players plus cash. The idea sounds wild, but in football, wild often becomes reality. Reports claim that Juventus's directors are preparing contingency plans, scouting replacements, and exploring cheaper, younger forwards who could fit the system. Every day, Italian newspapers run new headlines. Fans debate endlessly online. Should Juventus sell him or trust him? The club's silence only adds fuel to the fire. Now imagine this. Vlahović walking out of the Allianz Stadium tunnel for what could be his final home game. The fans don't know it yet. He scores, raises his hand to the crowd, and walks off the pitch with that trademark calm expression. Inside, he knows this might be goodbye. The cameras zoom in, the commentary grows emotional, and suddenly every viewer feels the gravity of the moment. A chapter closing. A new one waiting to begin. If he moves to the Premier League, it won't be easy. The pace, the physical battles, the constant scrutiny. It breaks some and forges others. But Vlahović has always been a fighter. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, a hunger that started back in Belgrade. Manchester United fans would adore his intensity. Chelsea would love his finishing. Atletico would turn him into a warrior under Simeone. Bayern would polish him into a machine. Wherever he lands, one thing is certain. He won't go quietly, and yet there's still a small chance he stays. Maybe Juventus finds a way to rebuild around him. Maybe a new manager reignites the spark. Maybe he decides to fight instead of flee. Football history is full of players who were on the verge of leaving and then became legends by staying. But that's what makes this story so fascinating. Every possible ending feels believable. Every rumor sounds like the truth. As the transfer window inches closer, the clock is ticking. Executives make late-night calls, journalists chase leads, and fans refresh Twitter every 5 minutes. Somewhere in Turin, Dušan Vlahović looks at his phone, sees the notifications, and smiles faintly. He knows the world is watching. He knows that his next move will define his career. And when the time comes, he'll be ready. Maybe he'll walk into Old Trafford, hearing the roar of England's biggest stadium. Maybe he'll stand in Stamford Bridge blue, ready to prove a point. Or maybe he'll stay under the black and white lights of Juventus, determined to finish what he started. Either way, one truth remains. Football is about moments, and Vlahovic's moment is now. So what do you think? Should Juventus sell him or fight to keep him? Which club would bring out the best version of Vlahović? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep football stories, transfer drama, and inside analysis. The saga isn't over yet. It's only just beginning.